story is called Manna from Heaven. And do you remember Moses, who had led all of the people out of Egypt? They'd been kept as slaves in Egypt. And Moses had led all of the people out safely. And he was going to be taking them towards the land that God had promised for them. But this wasn't an easy journey. All of the people had to trust Moses and keep listening to him. Sometimes they felt a little bit sad and wished for their lives back in Egypt again, because they weren't sure really that they trusted that Moses knew where he was going. But you know, Moses kept on talking to God. Remember, Moses was a man that loved God very much, and he would speak to God and God would speak to him. And so Moses kept on asking God for help and for direction. And the people kept on having to listen to Moses and trust that he knew what to do. But you know, this journey was long and all of God's people were very tired. And at night time, they would have to camp out in tents. That's where they would sleep in the wilderness on their journey towards the land that God had promised them. And so the people were camping out at night time in their tents each night, and the daytimes they would get up and walk a bit further. But you know, they were getting hungry, and they called to Moses and they said, "Moses, we are so hungry. All our tummies are hungry. We've had no food to eat. We're not sure we trust this God of yours anymore." And Moses said he would speak to God. And so that's what Moses did. He took some time and he said to God, "God, all of the people are hungry." And he said, "God, you have promised to look after all of us." Remember, God always keeps his promises. And so he said all of the people needed food to eat and water to drink. And so God did something amazing that night. All the people went to sleep. And as they slept, God put something from heaven onto the ground. It was like little honey biscuits, and he laid them all over the ground. So everyone was asleep when this happened. Everyone was fast asleep, including Moses, put Moses to sleep as well. And then the whole land was filled with these little honey biscuits. And the next morning, when all of the people woke up, they got up and they found that God had provided food for them. And you know, this happened every single day. The people would go to sleep, and whilst they were sleeping, God would put the food down on the ground for them. And you know what was amazing? There was just enough for everyone. There wasn't too much that they could save it. There was just enough. So they had just enough to eat and share between them. Isn't God amazing? There was just enough that they could eat and share between them. There wasn't too much. There was just enough food for everyone. And God kept his promise to Moses, and he kept his promise to all of the people to keep on looking after them as he led them towards the promised land.